All right, Sarah and Lee, thank you for joining us today. I'm going to have a quick FreshLime and demonstration from the perspective of maybe a beauty professional like a salon, and looking forward to learning how this service can really take our businesses to the next level. Take it away, ladies.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you, Jason. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to get connected with you guys today to quickly go over FreshLime, exactly what tools we provide small businesses that you guys are currently working with, and then answer any questions that you guys may have, and really identify, like, what are some of the communication gaps that we're solving, and why is this even important to, business owners. But yeah, is there anything else that you'd like to add, Lee, or?
No, I'm excited. I really don't know any of the questions you're going to ask or anything. So this is a great example of what it would be like for, someone that is just going through the process.
Perfect. And I may give a little bit more background too of just like how our sales team, connects with business owners and what our process is. So we're very focused on, can you guys see my screen here? Okay, perfect. Let's see. Oh, let's go right here. Perfect. I'll just go ahead and present. But FreshLime, what our platform, really solves within the space, for local small business owners. Like Jason said, stereotypics, and I don't have any kids, so I am a dog mom, my little dog Xena. But for our agenda today is really just talking about business owners, what are some of the problems that they're facing locally? And every business owner typically has the same problem, like they're wanting more customers, they're trying to grow their business, like the top 5 problems, and how technology can really help them grow their business and have a better customer experience, but also, provide more visibility for the owner locally. And if we talk about those problems, this is really big in our sales team. We're very solution-based selling. Kind of the rule on the floor is if you can't identify a problem or that customer doesn't have a problem that our solution can solve, then they're probably not a good fit. But any type of business that's providing a service, that essentially has customers can definitely utilize and leverage FreshLime to help them grow and have better conversations with their customers. But when we really dive in, typically we would do a discovery to find out, more information, like how are you currently communicating with customers other than a phone call? Like, are you guys texting? How are you guys leveraging texting, or what's the experience look like? Is there any friction in the customer journey? And where we see, in these conversations that we're having, most business owners know that there's friction, but they don't have enough time or resources or employees to help them, fix that problem. So they're really open to understanding, because the tools that we provide are customer facing. And to any business owner, if you don't have a customer, you don't have a business, right? So what our platform is allowing the business, to have is the ability to meet their customers where customers are at, and then to have those conversations, whether it's texting or email or messaging, like on social, or reviews and feedback. We allow them to leverage all of those tools, and we put it all in one place for them, so it's easy for them to use. We streamline, we reduce friction, and we increase, staff efficiency, but we allow businesses to have better conversations. They're able to respond faster. They're able to get feedback from their customer. And really, they're really able to, close the friction, reduce the friction in the buyer's journey. So what we typically would do at this point, Lee, in a demo, is I would essentially pull up your business, like on Google. I would say, hey, let's jump into your customer's experience, right? I'm online and I Google salon near me, options come up, and typically I would take their city and state, and I would just put salons in their area just to see what comes up. And I would say, this is what customers Google. A lot of people use Google or Facebook, But typically this is what it looks like. And, you know, what business would you choose? And it's shocking to see business owners, like sometimes they're like, oh yeah, I know they have a ton of reviews, you know, and if they are like, you know, I don't really know how to stand out on Google, you know, we'll give them the analogy of Amazon. Like, have you ever bought anything on Amazon? How do you buy that? And they say, oh, I always read reviews. Well, their customers do the same thing. So when we look at them, we say, hey, look, like, you know, maybe you're not showing up here, or maybe you are showing up, but you only have 3 reviews, or you only have 46 reviews here, when your competitor has 70. You know, how are you getting feedback from customers? And then, you know, we'll kind of walk through like how we help solve that if it's a problem. If they have like thousands of reviews, then we'll say, hey, like you're standing out, people are choosing you, you know, you have a great way of getting feedback, but all that's going to do is go drive somebody to click on you, and they're either going to have a call, like a phone call with you, or they're going to go to your website. And then from here is when we'll, you know, we'll tell them like, right now you do phone calls all the time, but that's how you've set your business up. And it's shocking to know that businesses, you know, they get this and they're like, oh yeah, like, you know, this sounds great. Like I was texting my carpet cleaners the other day, and like, it would be cool to add text. So this is a part where we really get them excited of like, you know, how much more convenient it could be, by adding our tools. And then we go to their website, you know, and essentially like, why do you guys have a website? Because websites are really meant to generate leads after hours, or generate leads when customers don't want to call them to take them through the buying journey. And most businesses today are set up with a lead form. And like this business here, like this contact page, and some people's websites aren't even like the best. Like this website, it's kind of hard to like really contact a business. You know, if I had questions or anything like that, there's no lead form here. So chat is even more important. And then from this point, within the demo process, we, you know, usually they'll agree and they'll say, yeah, like I totally get it. I wish we were getting more people off our website. We just don't. They'll just call us, or that's it. But, you know, we allow them to say like, hey, if you had even 2% or 3% of your traffic that converted into like a chat conversation, how could that impact your business? And usually at that point, most business owners are like, okay, I'm listening. Like, you know, how do you guys do that? And within our process, I won't do it today, but I'll quickly show you. Usually we have a way of popping our chat onto their own website, so they can actually see their own live website with our chat on there, and they can have a full demo experience. And typically that's when owners get really excited, because they're like, this is so easy. I can see why customers would use this. But just to show you guys, if say for instance, we can't do like a screen share with them, we can also, this is a demo environment, where we will show them like how our chat works and why our chat is different, and how this is going to help answer questions and take customers through the buying journey, or qualify them as a qualified lead, or a streamlined communication to their office to do business with them. And essentially, we'll allow them to go through conversations. And the biggest thing is with our chat is they don't have to be present. They don't have to sit here. It's not a live response. You know, it's a back and forth conversation, and they're able to customize this. And we do that with them. So if somebody's asking about products and service, they're able to quickly navigate where they need to go. Or they can text, they can still call, you know, this business as well. Any questions here on the chat?
Well, what's really nice about that is a lot of stylists are actually behind the chair most of the time, and they don't have a lot of time to respond. So I know a lot of stylists that get personal text messages or Facebook messages directly to them, and it's really hard for them to have those conversations, you know, to book people, or, you know, to give them the information they need. So I feel like that alone, like this is really valuable, because they just don't have time. You know, they're usually working 10 to 12 hours behind the chair. And, you know, a lot of questions might be like, how do I book? Or how do I book on this person's, you know, appointment book?
Yeah.
And a lot of them, you know, also have different links direct directly to their appointment books as well. So that alone is huge.
Mm-hmm. And that's a great point, Lee. We actually can, if they have a booking tool they're already using, we can actually implement that embed it within our chat so people can book directly from chat. But you're completely spot on. Like, business owners want to implement these tools because they know, like, it's really easy for them to see the value, because majority of the time, these business owners do it themselves with other businesses. Like, they've done this with their dentists, they've done this with, you know, doing day-to-day business, or their car, you know, getting their car change, their oil change, you know, so they understand it. But just like you said, they get nervous adding all of these communication tools if they can barely keep up with phone calls, or their business, they're busy servicing, you know, customers. So, and that's a really big selling point, is how it's automated. And the only time we're going to pass the lead over, as you guys can see here, when I said, hey, I need an appointment, and when we say generating a lead, you know, we're going to grab the first name, you know, this person, you know, they have a high intent to buy. We're going to grab their phone number, and it's a back and forth conversation. But at this point, it would be a qualified lead. They need an appointment, and then we'll pass the notification off to the business. So they're only dealing and getting notifications of qualified leads that are going to do business with them, or they're ready to book, they have a high intent.
Are you collecting all of that information and providing that on some type of report later, as far as their name, their contact info?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great question. So in the FreshLime dashboard, and this is like the business owner's view here, they will be able to actually send notifications when they set it up. And we help them on a 25-minute onboarding call once they get set up. We set everything up, making sure that they're comfortable and they're set up for success. And usually within 25 minutes, they're ready to go. But they actually will send notifications when a chat is completed to their cell phone or email, and they can add as many users as they'd like, of whoever is going to get those notifications. And it'll tell them the conversation, like the name, they need an appointment, her name's Sarah, you know, this is what she's interested in. And they can actually text, back and forth right through the dashboard, like if there's a front desk, or they can text right back and forth through our app, our mobile app. So it's really easy for them to, you know, identify a text message, a chat, a conversation that needs to be engaged with.
Can you integrate,
and we even take it,
can you integrate the chat with any website that they have already?
Absolutely. The only thing that we can't integrate is like a Google page, because Google has these like fake placement holder pages. It just says powered by Google. It's not a real website, so that's the only thing we can't pop our chat onto. But any other website, we haven't had any problems, and we have thousands of customers using this tool here.
Okay, awesome. And if they don't have a website, we can certainly help them with that, because I see a question from Vershante. And yes, I mean, we can definitely, we have a division for that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we, and one other thing too that our chat will really help with is not only identifying, but so if the customer connects with a business owner, and if the response time, because people don't like to wait, right? We don't like to wait. We're on the phone. Like if somebody puts us on hold too long, we hang up, or if they don't answer, we move on to the next business. Same thing with text messaging and chat and just social messaging. Response times do matter. So this is what really sets us apart from our competitors, because it's great to have the solution, but if you don't have the right solution, then it's actually creating a bigger problem. It's creating a bad customer experience. So if the business owner can't respond or their employees can't respond, our chat responds for them. And it also will text the customer, someone will be with you shortly, and that way they know somebody is going to be contacting them. They're expecting, you know, that call. So we have a very low drop-off rate, you know, because the goal is to convert these customers, these conversations into business. And they can do that by customizing their chat, by offering texting, by just offering the tools, but having a way, you know, to communicate back and forth with little friction to no friction. And we help them do that. And they'll be able to see as well all their conversations. And like, even if somebody came in and this is the second time they've chatted, based on their phone number and email, we know that's an existing customer or an existing conversation. So the business owner employees will also get visibility into past conversations. And for reporting concerns, we identify a new lead versus an existing customer. This is huge because we just had a case study. You know, he didn't have a ton of traffic going to his website, but where he saw a ton of value was offering current support to his current customers, because a lot of his existing customers were actually utilizing chat to communicate with him. So it was a really good visibility point for him, you know, and also a good customer experience. But so other than the chat piece,
even if a salon was like, you know, really busy and they're like, you know, we don't even have anyone to take new clients, this would still be a great tool for them because it would just really help manage those conversations. So even if you're not, you know, necessarily, because I think that's the big thing too. And if you have an overflow of clients, then that's when you look at possibly hiring more staff to accommodate them. So that's kind of a good thing too. I did have a question as far as, is there a limit of how many responses you can have set up, like the auto response?
So there's not a limit for communication. We have like best practices of like, this is what we recommend. At first, like the only auto response through text is somebody will be with you shortly. If they want to add an additional one, they can. We highly recommend they don't automate a ton of communication through text, simply because people want to text a real person and not a robot. And that's why, you know, we only pass over the conversations that are qualified leads ready to communicate with that customer. And then if somebody's just asking simple questions like, what is your pricing? We're still going to contact or grab their phone number and their name. But we can navigate them to pricing. And then if they want to book an appointment, they can, or they can connect directly to the business to finish, you know, getting connected or booked.
Okay.
And for salons, like specifically, this is really big, because a lot of people, like there's a huge drop-off rate, you know, with missed appointments. And if we can make it really easy for them to book or communicate with, you know, that salon, we see in loyalty increase as well, simply because they have communication with their customers. And speaking of loyalty, one of the ways we drive that for businesses is we provide QR codes. We also allow, when there is an appointment fulfilled, like say they come and get their hair done, and then they leave, they'll automatically get a text message asking for a review or how their experience was. And this is different. Like you may have a lot of customers that say, oh, we already do that. It's with our current booking system. 99.9% of their current booking systems already do reviews, but they're done through emails, not through text. So they don't get a ton of responses. But it's not just about the reviews for us. Like, you know, we include this so that they can be successful. We also want to collect a text opt-in, which is big for salons because it allows them to legally text them after, you know, their appointment to get them back. So if we don't see them in 6 months or 8 months, they can have that communication. So, and this is what it looks like on the customer's phone. So they would get, if I'm the customer, this is what I would get, and it would be customized with their logo, like Moxie Salon, and then, you know, show us some love. They can customize this here. And we do those customizations for them when we're walking and setting it up on that 25-minute onboarding call. And then we'll hyperlink their Google and Facebook page to get reviews, and they can get internal feedback, but they're also going to allow the customer to opt into receiving text from this business. And there's we have a really high 71% opt-in rate, which is extremely high.
Yeah.
Simply because we're doing it through texting already and the customer's already texting us. So this is a big value point for getting customers and appointments back, to automate this. So we're building them a text marketing list as well, not just, getting the review.
Nice.
But yeah, and then they'll be able to, because a lot of salons too, like I'll be honest, like I've run into that a lot, like, oh, we already do surveys and reviews. But when we show them how ours is different, they really like it because they can log into our dashboard. They can actually see how many reviews our platform is getting them. They can respond to them, so they don't have to go log into Google and Facebook separately. And they can do all of that in one place here. And then they can actually even send the review request and personalize and put, hey, Sarah, and they can put, or we can automate this if we get connected to their booking system. And they can send that review request out.
Does it collect reviews over all the platforms or certain platforms, or does the user choose which platform?
Yeah, they can add whatever platforms they'd like. We highly recommend them having Google and Facebook on there because those are, majority of customers are going to Google and Facebook for reviews. And same thing with Yelp. But if there's like other platforms like BBB, we can hyperlink those as well.
Okay. And if a salon is set up where they have different stylists renting their chairs, would each stylist need their own account, or do you have some kind of a group thing under the same umbrella?
Actually, they don't have to pay for, the stylists don't get charged separately. It's just one location. But in our platform, exactly what you just said, like there will be, because there's two types of salons, like some salons will just rent booths out, but they still want to build their Google reviews. They'll be able to, let me pull this up here. They actually will be able to register them as an employee, and the actual stylist can send out reviews, and we can link it back to that specific stylist. So we can still build reviews, and they'll have their own, we'll tag their own username. But then it gives the owner visibility if somebody's maybe not providing good service, and they're ruining their brand. Maybe they want to talk to that stylist or make sure that they're upholding their standards. So it gives them visibility too, to protect their brand.
That's great. I like that.
Yeah, and then you can see, this is just like a dummy account. So I was going to quickly, under our scoreboard here, it'll typically have, if I just pull up, I'll pull up this is like a dummy account. But if they go under their review tab here, they can see how many reviews they're getting on our platform. They can actually respond, and they don't have to go log into 4 different platforms. They can just say, oh, I want to respond to my Google reviews, my Facebook reviews, all through our dashboard. They can share this with like a front desk operation manager, and they can respond for them. But under scoreboard, they can also see the employees that are sending reviews out, like the stylist, what's their response. And if there is a negative review, we can link it back to that employee. So it would look like this here.
Okay.
So yeah, it would just be each stylist here. And we go through that. Like, it depends on how the business owner wants to set it up. And on our onboarding call, we'll ask a series of questions that will allow them to see which is going to be best for their business and what type of reporting, metrics are important to them as well. Yeah, the business owners love our review platform too, because they're able to see real reviews come in real time. But again, it's not just about the reviews or the opt-ins or the chat, and texting in general. The ability to be into a dashboard here, as you guys can see, and I can just quickly say, hey, I can help you with that. If I'm an employee, I can just talk to chats and text messages all from one inbox. So it's super streamlined. A lot of our customers will just have this pulled up. They'll also get notifications, and they can respond through our mobile app or our desktop app. And honestly, employees really love this because it's really easy. And it's kind of sad to say, some employees jokingly, like, sometimes it's easier than talking to people on the phone, because that's kind of where the world is headed today. Everybody texts now. People don't want to talk to people on the phone. This isn't to replace the phone call, but it's allowing, customers to have conversations with businesses in different ways as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. And, like you said, for response time as well.
Absolutely. And they can easily resolve the chat. And then it'll actually do a hand raise if this is a hot, you need to respond right away. And then they can go back and forth between text and web chat. And then, the owner can see all of the web chats live, how many conversations they've had in the last 30 days, what their conversion rates are, how many new leads they're getting every month through chat and texting, how many reviews they're getting and how many opt-ins. They're able to see that visibility as well. So
if they're opting in, then you can market to all of those people later for whatever campaigns you'd like.
Yeah, and this is our Engage tab here. We kind of do the crawl, walk, run approach. And because most people don't have opt-ins, they also can do emailing outreach for salons to, here's some new products, we missed you. We do email, text. But then we're able to send out outbound, engagements through text. So hey, it's been 3 months since we last seen you. And they can do offers and things like that. When there needs to be a call to action, they can set up those campaigns within our dashboard. And then our dashboard will actually, it'll actually report back on what their interaction rates are. So, how many people are responding. This is obvious. This is just all email right now. They're not doing texting, but it shows the email outreach. It'll show text outreach, and then we can tie that to actual, revenue of how many of those campaigns actually generated in conversations that, actually resulted in invoices. So it's a lot of visibility of closing the full customer journey of, the moment they find you, have a conversation with you, and then even after the service, which is a big pain point in the, in the health and beauty industry, is reoccurring customers.
Yeah. And so is there unlimited technical service for if they have questions on how to use the dashboard, can they call at any time to get help with that?
Yeah, so they can chat with us right here in our support. And they can quickly, text, chat, or they can call in, and we have our full support team that can help with them. I would say the best part, because I've been selling, our software for 4 years now, and having parents that own business as well, like a heating and air and plumbing and quick lube. Biggest pain point, for software or just any platform is some business owners just get scared, or they're not using it right away, or, they're not getting the value, or it's not set up right. And the best part about FreshLime from a user experience is it's as easy as sending and receiving a text message, which everybody knows how to do. And we really take pride in, hey, we can get you set up and going within 25 to 35 minutes, depending on how many questions you have. And they can start using it right away, and they can start seeing conversations where other things take more time to get business owners bought into how this is, impacting their business. This is front line, just like a phone call. They'll see wow, people are actually texting and doing reviews. And now that we've added, I'll just quickly show you guys these QR codes. People can just scan instead of giving them, just your business information. People are doing business information with these custom QR codes that we create. So instead of even clicking to call, they can just scan. It'll automatically, you can start texting right away. So we're really streamlining that communication as well.
And you said that it also connects to your Facebook business page?
Yeah, they're able to add other channels of communication as well. So their social media, their Facebook page, We just had a new update launch on our web app, which is coming like in the next week or two. Which they can add social as well, like their Facebook Messenger, and then it will also bring those conversations in one place as well for them.
Very cool. Because I know a lot of stylists also get Facebook messages all day long.
And they never respond to them in a timely manner. Same with their lead forms. Typically, when we're doing like outbound prospecting, it's kind of one of the ways that we get customers to really say like, hey, I was just trying to communicate with you guys other than a phone call. And they'll go fill out a lead form or they'll go message them on Facebook. And then it's crazy to see businesses responding like 2 weeks later or 4 days later. And it's sad because they don't see how much revenue they're actually losing because they don't have the right tools or, there's friction, like even having just Facebook Messenger in one place and then having a texting and then reviews over here. It's really hard for people to jump from dashboard to dashboard. So then they just don't utilize them, or maybe they forgot to check it that day. Well, then they just lost business, So really, that's a really big value point for us is we're going to put it all in one place for them, but they're going to have all of the tools customers are using to have conversations with business to do business in 2021. So that's where we get really excited to help, to continue to solve this. Is every business wants more customers. The problem is they don't have all of the right tools to be successful, to actually generate leads and close business. So we are helping providing those tools for them.
Awesome.
Yeah. Any questions at all, or?
Yeah, I was kind of going through and seeing some of the questions. One of the questions, and this is kind of a good question, is there an option to charge a booking fee or a cancellation fee if somebody's, booking through here or requesting an appointment?
So most of the time, those cancellation fees of a missed appointment, typically it's done through their current booking system. How we're embedding like our booking system or their booking system into our chat is we're gonna, just like how they would, click to schedule an appointment, we're just hyperlinking that into our chat. So when somebody like allows them to book online, or if they say, hey, I need an appointment, the response would just be the actual link to book an appointment. Like you can book online, or you can quickly shoot us a text and we'll help you. And the customer can choose how they want to move forward.
That makes sense.
So yeah, whether it's an email, whether it's getting feedback for reviews, whether it's a chat or a text, again, we want to put that all in one inbox for them, to instantly respond, but, have a very streamlined way of communication. And most businesses, just like this company here, they don't have a great way of generating leads. Even if they get 500 website visitors, that's 500 drive-by. And every business owner is looking to get a better conversion rate off their website. Chat is a really quick solution that is very tangible. And what we see, owners actually justify more marketing spend because they see the real conversations. So like, wow, I'm getting more people off my website. Well, the fastest way to see if people are coming off your website is when they're chatting you. And that's why, a lot of like, even when we talk to marketing directors, they're like, this is awesome, because I'm spending money to get people to the site. We have really low conversion rates, Yeah,
that makes sense too. Well, this was awesome. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting because every small business owner needs these tools, to continue to grow and to continue to provide the better experience. Like as consumers now, like small business owners, like their local competitors or their competitors in general are not just, the next hair salon next to them. It's competing with customer experience like the Delta, the Uber, the DoorDash. Like people want convenience when they give you their money or do business with you. And if it's hard to do business or it's hard to, get an appointment or have communication, they just go to somebody else, and people are loyal to convenience now. And that's why this is important for every company, especially within, the beauty industry, where it's local based businesses back and forth. There's even more of a need for our solution.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. And I think Sarah did such a great job, like presenting and displaying the functionality and made it so it's not so scary. And I think for a lot of people, certainly in the service-based businesses, technology, like you said, scares them. And they say, well, it's great to have a chatbot, but who's going to man the chatbot? And how do I know what's going to happen? So it's kind of like that fear of the unknown. So they never take action. But to your point, these businesses are so busy, Lee, right, that they don't even, and now they're missing their Facebook messages, and communication is so fragmented. And this just centralizes it and streamlines it, but makes it really easy for them to log in and have it all in one place and easy to manage. And I think that's what you've done here with this solution. And I think it's an incredible solution for a lot of our business prospects, certainly within beauty and healthcare and beyond that. So we're really excited about this partnership, looking for more. And when we look at the Engage product and ongoing communication down the road, we're going to be able to do some great things with Motives branding or, skincare products, down the road that we can continue to communicate. So it's about adding additional layers of revenue opportunities besides just getting a new client in the door and having them leave a review. When we start engaging these clients, we're also going to be able to promote more BV and IBV through all these salon accounts as well. So it's just exciting all around.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just,
Do you guys have
just the beginning.
Absolutely. Is there any other questions before we end here? Or?
Yeah, there's one more question. I know we've got Anita, who actually comes from more of a marketing background, deals with a lot of businesses. She's had a lot of great questions throughout the series today. But she just had one other question. It says, if a customer already left a review the last time they came in, will they continue to get the same review request every time they've come in? Or how does it know that a client is actually in the funnel through the process?
That is a great question, and we get that asked a lot when we're doing our demo. So I'm really glad you asked that. So the business owner can set it up. On the back end, we ask them, because there's some businesses that want to ask every 6 months or just once, and that's it. Those are settings that we do on the back end when we're setting a customer up. So we can send it one time, that's it. Or we can set it up where if it's been over 6 months, then we can send them another one, or if once every year, we'll send them a new one. So the business owner can choose how many review requests get sent out.
That's great. So it's that custom approach, and it really comes down to that onboarding and doing what's best for each business.
Absolutely. Like if we have, like, I'll give you an example, like a salon, like they're a hair salon in Utah. They want to know every time. Every time a customer comes in, they don't care if they've already left a review, they'll get internal feedback. They want to always know that they're having a good experience. Whereas some people are like, we don't want to do that. We just want, if they've left a review, great. If they haven't, send it again. So we can really, customize that to the business and their brand as well.
Well, that's great. I know that more questions are going to come in as people review these recordings. We'll get as many materials out there as possible. We also have email addresses for Sarah and Ryan and the team that you can send inquiries to. They've also got a link. If you go to your unfranchised.com or your shop.com and you simply search FreshLime, you'll end up on a website form request, and you can actually schedule demos for your clients right with Sarah's team at FreshLime. So I encourage you to do that. Get involved, be on the appointments if you can. You'll learn more about it, but we're excited about this partnership. And thank you so much, Lee and Sarah, for your time today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you as well, Jason. And one last thing to add, I would encourage all of you guys to, if you do book an appointment, maybe the first demo be on it with our team. That way you can get a real demo environment with, your client. And then moving forward, you can trust that that's going to be the exact same process every time. So don't be scared to jump on there with them as well, just to learn a little bit more about what we do.
And
Yeah,
do they
we're
always
here to help.
let you know when it is scheduled so that you can hop on?
Yeah, if you send over communication, like, and if you want to be on there, just let us know, and then we can add the invite. Or you can just schedule it for the business owner, and we'll add the invite. You can add the owner on there as well.
Okay, awesome.
But yeah, we'll make sure that you guys are added to the invite.
Okay.
We appreciate it. Well, thank you very much. Looking forward to hearing some success stories of the FreshLime, and we'll continue to do more series like this.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right,
Have
thanks,
a good
guys.
day, everybody.
All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.